Welcome to my NXT TakeOver 36 prediction video. Yes, I am back. It's been quite a while since I've done an NXT TakeOver prediction video. I think the last one I did was, last year for NXT TakeOver 30. Yes, it's been a while, but with this card and the main event in particular, I just thought I'd do another one. I'm so pumped for it. Of course, it's this Sunday on SummerSlam weekend. It's Sunday and SummerSlam on Saturday, so this actually comes after SummerSlam. So we've got a very exciting weekend of wrestling ahead. So yes, we have 5 matches on the card. Yes, it's looking pretty good. We've got some very good matches. I'm looking forward to this very much. So yeah, let's get to it. So let's start off with the first match we have is, let's start with a singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. Yes, we have Raquel Gonzalez defending her belt up against Dakota Kai. So this is kind of like a big personal storyline, isn't it? Because I don't know too much about this feud, but I've seen bits and bobs. So obviously, Dakota Kai's been like Raquel Gonzalez's bodyguard, like her second. She's always been by her side a lot of the time. Ever since she won the championship from Io Shirai, she's always been like at her side. And we thought at some point Dakota Kai is definitely going to betray Raquel Gonzalez, and she wants her chance. And it happened a few weeks ago on NXT, and now they're having a match for this NXT Women's Championship. Yeah. So yeah, these two have been like a heel duo, but now with Dakota Kai back attacking and betraying Raquel Gonzalez, I think Raquel Gonzalez is now the babyface, really. I know she's had a decent reign. She's only had it for, she's only had the belt for 130 days. You know, she's had one defence, I believe, at the last TakeOver against Ember Moon. I think this will be a good match. Who have I got to win, though? It's a little tricky, because you can see Raquel Gonzalez winning and getting a big babyface win. Well, she's now a babyface, more or less, isn't she? And get you some payback on Dakota Kai. Although you could see Dakota Kai winning too, because she's been around for quite a while now, hasn't she? And she could win the NXT Women's Championship. Dakota Kai. I'm going to go with Dakota Kai because she's been around for quite a while. I think she's due her time now as NXT Women's Champion. You know, Raquel Gonzalez has had a decent reign, 130 days on this day as recording. It'll be a bit longer on Sunday, but she had a defence. I just think give it to Dakota Kai. She can have a big heel win. And maybe Raquel Gonzalez gets a rematch at the next TakeOver. We will see, but maybe like a really cheeky, dirty win. Like she has to cheat to beat, because obviously there's a big height and weight difference. You know, Raquel Gonzalez, she's a big girl. She's much bigger than Dakota Kai, so I think there'll be a bit of an unfair advantage there. So maybe Dakota Kai has to cheat to win. But yeah, I think Dakota Kai will cheat and she'll become the new NXT Women's Champion. But maybe Raquel Gonzalez, if Raquel Gonzalez retains too, I wouldn't be too bothered. But yeah, okay, cool. On to the next match. Yes, we have a singles match for the $1 Million Championship. Yes, we have LA Knight defending the $1 Million Championship up against Cameron Grimes with Ted DiBiase. So, of course, at the last TakeOver in your house, this was a ladder match for the inaugural $1 Million Championship. And I'm so happy they brought the $1 Million Championship back. We haven't seen it in, decades? Since obviously that was the belt Ted DiBiase made famous back in the day. And Ted DiBiase has been involved in this feud, obviously teaming up with Cameron Grimes. I don't know too much about this feud. I saw the match at TakeOver, at the last TakeOver. It was a good match. LA Knight, I don't know much about him. Apparently he was quite big on the indie scene, but now he's making swaves and moves in NXT. Of course, he's the $1 Million Championship. And of course, the stipulation is if Cameron Grimes loses, Ted DiBiase must become LA Knight's butler. I'm going to say LA Knight to retain, because he only won the belt at the last TakeOver. So yeah, as much as I like Cameron Grimes, I think he's got a lot going for him. I think the fans really like him. I think maybe he might go up to the main roster after this match. I think they might have plans for him. But I'm going to say LA Knight retains, and then Ted DiBiase becomes LA Knight's butler. Or maybe Cameron Grimes wins too, I don't know. But I'm going to say LA Knight for this one. Because he only just won the belt, didn't he, at the last TakeOver. But maybe Cameron Grimes wins it as well. Because Ted DiBiase becoming LA Knight's butler. How's that going to work? But it should be a good match. Nonetheless, yeah. Okay, on to the next match. A match which I am really looking forward to. Oh yes, we have a singles match for the NXT United Kingdom Championship. Yes, we have Walter defending the belt up against Ilya Dragunov. Yeah, woo! This is a big rematch in the making. Of course, these two had a match on NXT UK last year, and it was a really hard-hitting physical match. It was brutal. One of Walter's most brutal defenses since he won the belt years ago, several years ago now. And yeah, I just feel that this is going to be a really good. It's really highly anticipated. These two going at it again. You know, Walter has been United Kingdom champion for today, as of right now, 863 days. Wow, that is a long title reign, over 2 years. Crazy. One of the longest title reigns in WWE history. You know, I think the longest was 1,000 days with what's his name, Bruno Sammartino, I think. So he's not far away. 863 days. Wow. What a reign Walter's had. You know, some people have said it's been long. He's had a lot of defenses. He has had a lot of defenses, Walter. Some amazing defenses. You know, he defended it against Ciampa, one of the recent takeovers. Joe Coffey. I think there were 2 matches against Joe Coffey. Or was it one? I can't remember. What was it? Tyler Bate at TakeOver Cardiff. That was an incredible match. One of my favourite matches. That match against that Tyler Bate at TakeOver Cardiff. So Walter's had some amazing defences. It's been a long title reign, but is it going to come to an end? Is Ilya Dragunov going to be the one to end Walter's long 800-plus day title reign? I think so. I think they're going to do it. I think this is where Walter drops the belt. It's been a long and legendary title reign, one for the history books for all time. It's going to be a long time before we see someone beat 800 days as champion. I just think Ilya Dragunov is the guy to beat Walter. You know, he came so close in the first match at NXT UK last year. I think it's going to be another really hard-hitting match between these two. It's going to be brutal, maybe even match of the night contender. But I'm going to say Ilya Dragunov is the one to dethrone Walter. It's going to be a big moment. It's going to be a really big, hard-hitting match. I'm looking forward to it. But I think this is the end for Walter as United Kingdom champion. And maybe he goes to the main roster after this. I've heard rumours that he doesn't want to go to the main roster, but apparently that's what's left for him. If Walter does win again, he beats Ilya Dragunov again. Who's left to beat Walter? There's no one left for NXT UK. Who can beat him? So I feel like he's beaten everyone. Rampage, like I said, all the other people too. But like, there's no one left. So I think Ilya Dragunov has to be the one to take the belt off Walter, because if Walter does, or maybe Walter does what Asuka does. He's beaten everyone, then he just relinquishes the belt. And then he goes to Raw or SmackDown. Maybe Walter does that. I don't know, because that's what Asuka did, wasn't it? So yeah, I'm gonna say Ilya Dragunov wins in a really, really brutal, hard-hitting match. But I think at the end, Ilya Dragunov becomes the new United Kingdom champion, and then Walter can go to Raw or SmackDown. Yeah, maybe we will see. But Walter, I'd love to see Walter on the main roster. He would kick ass. He'd kick ass, chopping everyone. But yeah, okay. On to the next match. Yes, we have a match which I think is going to be another brutal match. Yes, we have a 2 out of 3 falls match. Yes, between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. So the first match is a singles match. The second match is a street fight. And the third, and if final match, will be a steel cage match. So yes, 2 out of 3 falls matches are brutal. We've seen them before on NXT. I think Adam Cole had one when he was NXT champion. I think it was against Johnny Gargano. Yeah. So he's had some really good matches with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. Of course, this is their third and final match. Of course, Kyle O'Reilly won the first match, I believe, at Stand and Deliver in a really long unsanctioned match at Stand and Deliver. Kyle O'Reilly won that one. It was a brutal match. Adam Cole got a win back at TakeOver. What was TakeOver? The Great American Bash. So it's 1-1. So this is the third and final match. It's been a really brutal feud between these two once friends of the Undisputed Era. Now they're enemies, button heads. They've had 2 great matches, and I think this is going to be a really good match. Who's going to win though? This is probably the hardest match on the card to call, because you could say either guy gets the win. You could make a case for either guy. Kyle O'Reilly gets his big win on Adam Cole, or Adam Cole gets a big win too. Because I do think this might be Adam Cole's farewell match in NXT, because there's lots of people saying that he's either going to go to AEW, because apparently his contract's nearly over. He's been running on empty on his contract, and apparently he hasn't renewed yet. So there's been rumours saying he might leave after this and go to AEW, or he may go to the main roster, because I believe Adam Cole had a meeting with Vince McMahon not too long ago about maybe having a $1 million a year contract on the main roster. So we will see what Adam Cole chooses, whether to stay with NXT, or if they stay with WWE, or goes to AEW. We will see what happens. But this is going to be a great match. It's gonna. There's both men are going to win but one match, aren't they? And then it's going to the steel cage match will be the decider. Who is going to win though? Oh, I'm gonna say Adam Cole, because I just think if this is going to be his farewell match, his final match in NXT, then he deserves to go out with a win, I feel. You know, he's done so much in NXT. He's done it all for the last 4 years. You know, and longest ever NXT champion. I think he beat Finn Balor's reign, didn't he? The first ever North American champion. For multiple time tag team champion. He's done it all, Adam Cole. He's been great. Adam Cole, baby! And all that. So I think it's just time for him now to either go to the main roster or go to AEW. So that he's done everything in NXT. Well, Kyle O'Reilly, I still feel like he's still got some stuff left to do. He still hasn't been NXT champion, so maybe he'll challenge the NXT champion at the next takeover. We will see. So I think Kyle O'Reilly's still got stuff left to do in NXT, where Adam Cole's done everything. So Adam Cole deserves to win this. He deserves to go out on a big high. It's going to be a brutal match, probably going like 30, 40 minutes. But I'm going to say at the end of it, Adam Cole wins. But it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. And then on to the main event. Woo woo! I'm so pumped for this match. Yes, we have a singles match for the NXT Championship. Yes, we have a Karrion Kross defending the belt with Scarlett, going up against my boy. Yes, Samoa Joe. Yes, I'm wearing one of his old NXT t-shirts back from 2016. Yes, and my boy is back, making his in-ring return after a year and a half. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped for this match. I'm just to see my boy back, because Samoa Joe is my favourite wrestler. He has been for several years, many years now, and I'm just so happy to see him back. You know, when he got released, I was gutted. I was like, no, you've released Samoa Joe like a week after WrestleMania, after he was on commentary on the main roster for like nearly a year. I couldn't believe it. But now, obviously, he came back with William Regal as William Regal's special guest enforcer on NXT. I was like, yes, because I think Triple H was like, oh no, Joe, you're coming back, come back, Joe, because Vince may be an idiot, but I'm not. Come back, Joe. So yes, Joe came back, and then he's been beefing with Karrion Kross. Like he can't be provoked unless he can't get back in the ring unless provoked. And of course, Karrion Kross provoked him. They've been butting heads on NXT. Then Karrion Kross, when Joe was a special guest referee for one of his matches, Karrion Kross hit the clutch on Joe, and then that pissed Joe off. And then Joe, William Regal's help, got made back into a full-time wrestler. Yes. So yes, and it got made official at TakeOver 36. Joe will be facing Karrion Kross for the NXT title. And I'm so pumped to see my boy back, because Samoa Joe's last in-ring match, I looked this up, was on, I think it was on Raw or SmackDown. It was in February 2020. It was a tag team match. It's been a year and a half since we've seen Joe in the ring. I'm so pumped to see him back. I'm sure he's been working very hard in the gym, probably training in ring with Karrion Kross to make this match really, really special, really good. And who is going to win? Well, first, before that, Karrion Kross, he's already been on Raw, hasn't he? He's already had several matches on Raw, so I think he's already beginning his main roster transition. And it's not been going well, has it? His first match, he lost to Jeff Hardy, which was mind-boggling when he's been this dominant heel champion on NXT for so long. And then he lost to Jeff Hardy in his first match on Raw. It was bonkers. And then he beat Keith Lee the next week, but then he lost to Keith Lee the week after. So he's already had 2 losses on Raw, Karrion Kross, when he's been this dominant heel champion on NXT. You know, he's been NXT champion for 129 days as of today. He already had a defense in your house in that Fatal 5-Way. He's been a very dominant. I don't think he's been pinned hasn't been pinned once on NXT. A few weeks on the main roster, he's already been pinned twice. It's just it's fucking hell. So it has taken away the hype for this match a little bit, because now Karrion Kross doesn't feel invincible anymore because he's already lost to Keith Lee and Jeff Hardy. So if Samoa Joe beats him, then it doesn't feel as big of a deal because he's already lost twice now on Raw. But anyway, rant over about that. Who's going to win? I'm going, of course, with my boy Samoa Joe to become the first ever 3-time NXT champion. Come on, Joe! Joe! Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good match. But I think come the end, I think Joe will hit that clutch, or maybe even a muscle buster. He might bring the muscle buster back. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, and Samoa Joe becomes the new NXT champion and a 3-time, and the first ever, like I said, 3-time NXT champion. Karrion Kross, like I said, he goes up to the main roster. He goes to the main roster to get ruined, because they all do, don't they? Yeah, and Samoa Joe becomes the new NXT champion. Woo! It just would make no sense for Karrion Kross to retain. He's on Raw now. He's had several matches on Raw. So it would make no sense for him to beat Joe. Joe's in-ring return after a year and a half. So I just think give it to Joe. Give it to my boy. He can become the new NXT champion. Yeah. I'm so pumped for hopefully when Joe wins. Fingers crossed, touch wood. I really hope Joe wins. I will be gutted if he doesn't win. But yeah, come on, Joe. Yeah. And Karrion Kross with Scarlett can make a full transition to the main roster. Yeah. Oh, and may God have mercy on your soul, Karrion Kross, because you're going to get ruined. You'll be jobbing to Elias in no time. Don't worry. But anyway, yeah, guys, that is my prediction for NXT TakeOver 36. I think it's going to be a great night of wrestling. This weekend's going to be great. We've got SummerSlam on Saturday, TakeOver 36 on Sunday. Woo! We're in for a treat this weekend, wrestling fans. So, what are your predictions for TakeOver 36? Comment below. Let me know. Yes, so like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll be back. I'll be back probably in a week on Monday with my SummerSlam. No, I'll be back on Sunday. Yeah, I'll be back on Sunday with my SummerSlam review. So thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you all very soon.